Tonight at 5, Justice.
I left Colorado till I started working to GBS.
One of Colorado's biggest employers pays a multi-million-dollar settlement for cruel treatment of Muslims and Somalians. The victims are speaking out about the abuse and the resolution.
Plus, we'll introduce you to the scientists studying the long-term impact of vaccines.
We're excited about this vaccine study.
As Colorado tries to figure out what to do with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine sitting on the shelf.
And we'll explain how a highway sign was hacked.
It said, abolish cops, support trans kids, and burn it down.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for Denver7 News at 5. I'm Ann TRUJILLO.
And I'm Jason Grenauer. JBS executives are accused of discriminating against many of their employees of color for years. And tonight, a decade after the original complaint, the company is finally agreeing to pay out.
This settlement is worth $5.5 million, but the victims would likely give up that money for their dignity. Black and Somali employees said managers and others threw meat and bones at them because of the color of their skin. Muslim employees were banned from prayer and were denied water.
Tonight, some of those employees are sharing their story with Denver7's Liz Gilardi.
3 former JBS employees described widespread discrimination at the meatpacking plant in Greeley. The employees we spoke with are Somali refugees and talked about their experiences with assistance from a translator.
While I was working there was a lot of problems. I was not allowed to perform my prayers.
A lawsuit filed by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, alleged the company discriminated against the employees due to their race and religion. Employees say they endured constant harassment.
While I was working, performing my duties, I was carrying a meat, packing in the boxes. Often you will see somebody throw a bone or a piece of meat while they are calling me. All kinds of insulting names were called while I was working there.
After years of fighting, JBS agreed to pay up to $5.5 million to 300 employees, ending the original lawsuit filed in 2010.
I thought nothing will happen because it took so long, almost 10, 11 years. And I'm glad that things will change for the future, for the people who are behind me.
JBS is also being required to take several measures intended to correct and prevent future discrimination. That includes reviewing anti-discrimination policies and maintaining a 24-hour hotline to report discrimination.
No one should have to go to work and be denigrated for their race or their religion or their skin color. Or their beliefs.
Most of all, these former employees hope the settlement will change the culture at JBS. They said when they tried to raise concerns, they felt ignored.
What happened was we tried a couple times to report to the higher supervisor.
Yeah, it bothered me a lot. And I felt I was abused, not only me, but my co-workers who were in the same ethnic group. And we needed the job. We had families to support.
Liz Gilardi, Denver7.
In a brief statement, JBS said it does not admit liability and is committed to diversity and inclusion. And the company made a separate, unrelated announcement today saying it will increase meat production capacity and wages company-wide. And it's been a rough June for JBS. Many of the company's computer systems were knocked offline by a ransomware attack over Memorial Day weekend. The company said it settled the problem within a couple of days. They have not said if they paid a ransom.
Colorado's Democrats are taking a victory lap after this year's legislative session. They got nearly everything they wanted, including several bills which passed at the last minute. Just last night, Democrats passed a police reform bill to end qualified immunity to state patrol, a bill to limit insulin prices, a property tax reduction bill, a bill to add fees onto single-use plastics, misdemeanor reforms, and alcohol takeout and delivery. The Democrats' go-it-alone approach did not win them many friends on the other side of the aisle, though. GOP Senator Bob Rankin said today that the theme of the session is that Democrats did whatever they wanted to.
Alec McKinney, one of the 2 shooters at the STEM school in May of 2019, said today that he created a trail of social media breadcrumbs to implicate himself as the mastermind, and Devin Erickson is someone who just went along with the plan. Now, Erickson is on trial for murder. And today was the second day of McKinney's testimony. He's already pleaded guilty and will not be eligible for parole for 40 years. In court today, McKinney clinically described the hours leading up to the shooting, stopping only briefly to cry at some moments. And you can read our complete coverage of the trial right now on thedenverchannel.com.
Denver County hit a major milestone today. 70% of eligible people have gotten the vaccine. It continues the trend across Colorado. The urban counties of the Front Range and many liberal-leaning mountain counties have high vaccination rates, while people in rural counties and Republican-leaning counties of El Paso and Pueblo are vaccinated at a much lower rate.
And state officials said today about 0.1% of all vaccinated Coloradans have gotten sick with a breakthrough case of COVID.
Now that adds up to almost 3,000 people. More than 200 of them had to be hospitalized. 38 died. State leaders said while the numbers are alarming, they are also in line with what we know about the vaccine's effectiveness.
We see vaccine breakthrough cases, and as we see more people who are vaccinated, we will see more cases who are vaccine breakthrough.
And there is concern that about 10 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine could end up expiring before they're used. Here in Colorado, providers have access to about 36,000 J&J doses. State leaders told us in a statement that they are, quote, working to make sure as little as possible goes to waste. They did not get specific, but it's clear the demand is weak in our state. Almost 7,900 vaccine doses were given out yesterday. About 300 of those were Johnson & Johnson.
And when we're talking about the vaccines here, one of the most important questions facing all of us right now, how long will immunity last after you get your COVID-19 vaccine?
That's right. Denver7's Ivan Rodriguez is showing us why the science world, I should say, is working as fast as it can to answer that question.
We're excited about this vaccine study.
Inside the brand new Center for Clinical Investigation at the La Jolla Institute for Immunology, they're doing a study unlike anything ever attempted with COVID-19 immunity.
We want to be able to compare them head to head and understand how well people's bodies remember these different vaccines.
Drs. Shane Crotty and Alessandro Setti are leading the research into 4 COVID vaccines, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and Novavax, to see how long they protect against COVID-19.
We have been following people that have been vaccinated with the different vaccines, and we will follow them over time and see how their response looks like.
They're also looking at people who have natural immunity from getting the virus. It's the first time ever that researchers have been able to look at all of that at the same time in the same lab.
To have everything done under one roof is very important.
But to do it, they need volunteers and their blood from those who have been vaccinated. Those volunteers will give blood several times over the next year. That blood gets broken down to a cellular level, allowing the researchers to look at 2 things: antibodies, which help prevent infection, and T cells, which fight the disease. By measuring them over time, they'll find out how long each type of immunity lasts.
Even if we can get sort of 1 month, 3 month, 6 month time points, we can really get a decent estimate about what's probably going to happen for several years.
The study is blind, so the researchers don't know whose blood they're looking at, and volunteers won't know what their immunity levels look like. But the information their blood provides will help the CDC set guidelines for everything from booster shots to mask wearing. The results will show how long immunity lasts, the difference from one vaccine to another, and how each works against variants. It could lead to a better understanding of how to make the next vaccine for a future pandemic.
There are no words to describe how grateful we are to the people that donate blood and participate in our studies, and that we really contribute to understanding this pandemic.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez, Denver7.
Next at 5, hackers make sure a construction sign sends the wrong message to morning commuters.
I was expecting to see a merge left notification. So perhaps it's even hindering people's ability to be safe on the road.
Plus, we're going past the headlines to explain Chipotle's recent price hike. And we'll explain how crooks stole $500,000 worth of Louis Vuitton.
Whew! Been a scorcher so far today, and even hotter weather for tomorrow.